Welcome to the night show.
The night show.
10:30 p.m. in MacNeil.
Come and get MacNeiled.
I want to say MacNails because of the snails.
The snails. Mac snails.
The MacNails.
Creeping at a slow pace.
Tonight, the conversation will be about sex.
See, I like this podcast already. This is a nice, refreshing take on tattooing.
Guys or girls?
Miss Lara.
Yes.
And how do you say your last name? Scotton?
No. It's actually Scotton.
Scotton.
Yes, but now actually make more sense saying Scotton.
Scotton.
It sounds more like...
From the States it would be that.
Yeah, it sounds more like travel over the world. I mean, even Italian don't think that it is really Italian, so no. I just play this game.
Oh yeah, we got to change things up because we have way too many Italians. And nothing against you, honestly. Well, yeah. But we've been going on a tear with Italians.
Because we are really nice people.
It's true. I get along with Italians pretty well, I think.
Of course, who doesn't?
Hey, I like the food.
It's all about food, where you're going to eat a lunch, a dinner, where you're going to go.
Yeah. You know what I miss is walking around with no clue where I'm going. Just aimless walking. It's the only country in the world that I felt like I can do that comfortably. It's just walk out the door and be like, I have no plan. I'm just going to walk.
Well, yeah. If you stumble in a bar, you're probably going to know someone.
Well, that's where all my friends are, actually.
Yeah, exactly, right? Or a piazza. Everybody goes there to complain. Right?
Like, I got no money.
There's no money. And then they have a house.
I just paid off my car, but, it's a nice car.
Yeah, so many taxes in here, money spent and this and that. But then I take a day off or two or a month in August.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I don't do that.
It seems like the life. So I guess my next question or my first question, I don't even know, did we even start the podcast yet?
I don't know.
But anyways, why would you want to go from that lifestyle of having like the free, I don't know, take it easy, relaxed lifestyle and then go right into this crazy city of New York? Well,
first of all, when you're young, I guess you want to explore things. And then it comes a moment of your life, it gets to the point that you're like, all right, if I'm not going to do that now, I'm not going to do that anymore, And then you get bored in the same place. You want to know more stuff. You get stuck maybe in your old town in Italy and you're like, all right, now I don't have anything. I don't have a house, sold my car. And you're like, all right, maybe it's a sign. I should try to new things, to explore new things in my life. I mean, I always wanted to travel. And it's easy when you don't have anything that holds you down.
Yeah. Now, did you come from a small town in Italy?
Well, yes. I grew up outside of Milan. I moved out from my parents' place when I was about 19, 20. I moved to London for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
It was a crazy time. After 2 years, I came back. It was a little too much, like party-wise and weather-wise. It was always crazy. I couldn't deal with that much. And I came back and I went to Varese, which is close to the Swiss border, right? For about, let's say, 6 years or something like that. And well, I was in a relationship and blah, blah, blah. And the relationship and I'm back to Milan again. And then I was like, all right, now I don't have really anything. My dog died as well.
Oh, no.
It was pretty sad, yes. And then I was like, all right. So I got my tickets and I went to the States, to LA actually. I had a ticket for 3 months, not enough money, not at all. I don't know how I planned that, like very badly. And I went to work in this shop, Huntington Park.
That was in Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles, right.
So you started tattooing before?
I started tattooing before. I was a piercer before.
Okay.
For a few years. And then when I moved back from London, well, I did other kind of jobs, selling stuff, whatever it was. Whatever. And then I left it when I saw that actually I could work with just piercings. And then after that, with a group of friends, we opened a shop in Varese. There was a little like problem, you know, we were 4 people. We didn't get along very well at one point. That was the moment actually they were starting tattooing. I actually had 3 people helping me at the beginning, and then were really helpful. After that, when I started on real people and having like few walk-ins and something, I took my car and I was like, all right, now I have to just try to work as much as I can. And I ask everywhere. So I end up working for 4 different shops. And
in the same town?
No, and one was in Varese, Gallarate, Milano, in 2 different shops.
Oh, wow.
It was very overwhelming. And then at one point when I was done in Varese, I moved completely to Milan. I picked 2 shops there that I was working. One was Trafficanti d'Arte at the time, and the other one was Duck Tattoo.
Duck?
Yeah. And at the same time, there was Officine as well in the middle. There was a lot of things going on. Yeah, it was crazy. But at least I could work almost every day of the week. That's it. And then after that, I was like, right, now I'm tattooing for 2-3 years. And it was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm moving. I'm going to the States.
Wow. That's amazing. That must have been kind of intimidating, I think. How was your English back then?
I remember some stuff from London, but when you don't practice, you don't actually, you have to start again. And plus, when I was there, I was pronouncing things in a different way, and everybody was making fun of me. Like the cash point, the trousers. What's the other word? The Hoover.
The Hoover, yeah.
What the fuck is a Hoover? Hoover.
The vacuum cleaner, yeah.
It's true. And that's it. And then I ended up in this shop. They were really nice. They were like a group of guys that I met a year before. And I actually emailed them. I was like, hey, I'm actually coming to the States. I need a place to work. And they welcomed me. Very nice. This shop was basically, they were all Mexicans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, California.
Yeah. And then another shop that I actually talked with this guy, and his name was Giro. It's still Giro. And now he's worked with Ori Chui.
Okay, yeah.
So they were the people that I was talking with. Everybody welcomed me really well. They were very helpful. And I stayed there for a month. And then I moved to New York. Not really a move. I was dating someone from New York.
Now the story unravels.
No, I'm not going to say any names. But, life goes on, and then you whatever. And he was like, why don't you come to New York? There's more work than LA and blah, blah, blah. Plus in LA, without a car, you can't really do much. And I went to New York, worked there. And then he was like, why don't you come to Brazil? And so we went to Brazil.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then we stayed there almost a month. And there was the time that actually I went to São Paulo as well. I met Ivan there.
Oh, wow.
And then I got tattoo from him after. Then we went to Rio. And then I met all the people that eventually I would meet in New York. There was Rodrigo Melo working there. And I remember there was Rico as well. It was the first time. And I was like, wow, fuck, those are real tattooers. Yeah. And I was so excited. And then that's it. Then I came back to New York. My visa got longer, so I stayed another month.
Well, tell me, if you don't mind, a little bit about your experience getting tattooed by Ivan and like what it was like down there.
Well, first time I just stayed there all day and, watch him working. And it was nice because you actually were going to his apartment and there was to ring up the bell, and then you were going down. There was this little studio next to his apartment, basically at the end of the corridor. And then I remember it was the first or second time that you see all the Ichibei drawings around. It was amazing. And it's a tiny shop, and it was without shoes. And he's always tattooing without shoes.
So it's barefoot, no
bunch
slippers?
Of beers, portfolios from like 20 years ago that you're like, wow. Drawings, all the watercolor that you see the back piece that he's doing, they're all over the walls. It was pretty magical, especially at the beginning. I was like, wow, no minding.
And I think, it sounds like the earlier experiences for you in tattooing where, like, to see something that inspiring from the get-go, I think, raises the bar a lot.
Well, I was pretty psyched about it. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to go back in Italy anymore. This is happening. It's all in here. It's New York and this and that. You can meet a lot of people. And yes, and I was like, I was always in a relationship. And of course, it's hard, to travel and blah, blah, blah. And then I moved there eventually.
To Brazil?
No, to New York. Brazil, I stayed just 1 month. I came back actually a year after. Then I got tattooed from Ivan. I remember. It was pretty painful. I did 2 days in a row, and I remember that I took a painkiller for the first time. I was so sick after. I went back to the hotel, pass out, done. Never felt so sick.
Oh no!
I was like, that's what is a real painkiller does to you. You feel so fucked up. And I'm pretty good in drugs. I mean, I like to take drugs. I shouldn't have said that. It's okay.
we can leave it in if you want.
Well, I don't mind. I mean, my mom won't hear that, so it's okay.
I like drugs.
Drugs are so cool. Not anymore. I'm a good girl now.
Yeah. But shit! Almost knocked over shit. What was New York like? What year do you remember that you went there?
The first time was 2009, I think, maybe. Yeah, 2009 was my first experience. And was snowing so badly. It was right when the big depression or whatever was going on. Mm-hmm. The first time I was there was okay to work. Second time I was afraid because I didn't have work. And I was like, I don't have enough money. I mean, I remember at one point I had to find another place. So Instagram wasn't a thing. And so I made my little portfolio. And I started walking all over Manhattan in Brooklyn with my little thing from shop to shop, asking if they needed help. And eventually I got a job for a week because then I had to leave a tattoo culture, which is closed right now, and was in Brooklyn. And this saved my life because I didn't have any money, so it was cool. And at the time, I was working as a guest at Side Ink. They was working there, and then all excited again because they were like Josh Lord, Patrick Cullen, Ethan Morgan, all these name that you see in Milan Tattoo Convention if you don't travel much.
Sure.
And then being in the shop together, I was like, yeah.
It's a great feeling when you're around some really good artists. And for me, this past week when we had so many good guests, including yourself at the Royal, I was jazzed up all week, just, working with everybody. And I don't know, I like the energy that everybody's working and even though you might not be able to kind of look over shoulders all day long, but just knowing someone's working next to you makes you want to get better. And
it is nice. Then you guys have a lot of guests there, so it's all very inspiring, I guess. Yeah, right?
Yeah, I feel very appreciative of that opportunity that we have and how open it is. But it can get intimidating too when certain people come and you're just like, okay.
It's always a little bit it's always tattooing. You give a little shoulder, be like, oh.
Don't look at this yet.
No. Oh, you're doing something that you don't like, and you're like, no. No, don't come here now.
But I'm sure everybody understands that you're not going to be doing your life's work every single day.
Of course not. No, everybody wish, I guess. Oh, maybe somebody's doing it. I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah,
it is what it is. But it's really intimidating sometimes.
But it was funny, how we met. We met a year ago at the London convention.
Exactly.
And I bumped into Matt Prado, who did a guest spot with me in Boston, and then we just kind of met. And then you were friends with Stuart Archibald, and we all kind of got together for dinner and stuff like that. And it was just, you kept on coming into our circle.
In Italy, we say you're like the prezzemolo. It's like a parsley. It grows everywhere.
Yeah.
O l'erba cattiva, quella che non muore mai. No, I hope I'm not like that.
No. But you do quite a bit of traveling. You were just at Aachen, And
Yeah.
do you do that one every year?
No, it's the first time,
First time?
actually. This time, Michelle was invited for a seminar.
Yeah.
I just tagged along, honestly. I was like, oh, I kind of want to come. Then I wrote them and I was like, yeah, it's hoping it's not a problem, I want to join too. And everything went smooth.
And this is Michelle from Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're currently working there.
At Daredevil Tattoo in New York City, yes.
That's awesome. So what was her seminar? Was it like a historic thing? Yeah.
Yeah. She is basically more or less the same thing that she does when she brings people around in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. I did it tour 2 times. She studied all the history about New York tattoos, tattooers. She actually built the map with the street that are not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks you around Bowery, Chinatown, or the area over there to show you where all the shops were. She put inside a little history. She tells you about people, family that were living there at the time. When you're doing the tour, I remember there's a little house and this one of the last little buildings in New York City. It's like 2 floors.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find them anymore, and
No,
that's there from forever. I hope they're not going to destroy that because, how it is. And then at the end of the tour, she brings you to eat something at a Chinese place. It's beautiful. If you've never done it, you have to do it.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing about it from you. Next time I'm in New York, I would love to
No, it's
pick her
very
brain.
nice. I think now she's speaking 2 days a week.
Okay.
Early morning, usually around 11 or something. So then you can have lunch. I don't know how long it is right now. I don't remember, but I feel like it should be around an hour. I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. I did that last 2 years ago. So, but basically, the seminar that she was doing in Aachen is the same thing. She prepared slideshows of pictures and everything, and it's basically a virtual tour
Sure.
about it. Yeah,
That sounds awesome. Will she be in London as well? Or
Yes.
did she go? Okay, good.
it's gonna be in London. We're gonna be all there from the shop with the 3 of us. Just me, Michelle, and Diego.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you've been away from home for a while. I think you were saying the middle of August you were traveling.
Vacation. No, well, I needed to go back to Italy. It's been a year and I've missed that. I need to go back at least once or twice a year.
Yeah,
It reset everything.
definitely.
I needed to see my family. I took a week of vacation. I work. There's a shop that I always work in by the beach, which is great, which is in Follonica. It's called Adrenaline. Then I came back again to Milan, went to Aachen, here, London, back to Milan to work again, and then I'm going back to New York.
Wow.
And then I'm working 2 days after. I took a day off.
You get back to work and take a day off. I
Yeah.
like your stuff. So you're bringing the Italian lifestyle back to New York. I like that.
I'm trying. All my Sundays are off.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That's good.
As good Italian.
Keep it kinky on Sundays.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I forgot to ask, how old were you when you first started getting into tattooing? And
So, getting into tattooing, it was later in life. But basically, when I moved in London, it was so funny because at one point, we were squatting at the time, okay? So
you were a punk rocker back then?
I was doing everything. Raves, being a punk rock, whatever, it's European style. You do everything. In the US, or you one thing or you're the other one. In
Right.
Europe, it's a big mess.
Uh-huh.
So, yes, we were living in this place. First was Camden Town, and then we went a little inside. What is Kentish Town over there, probably? But there were 3 or 4 piercer, 4 tattooers. So it was a house basically of piercer and tattooer.
Uh-huh.
And it was nice because then actually you're going to party bars and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, come home. I'm going to get you piercing. Or again. It was very bad. But, some of us were working in shops already. So it was like a group of people that was doing tattoos and piercing. So it was very present since then. Got tattooed in that time. But starting tattooing was actually late in life, around when I was 26, 27 years old. I was doing piercing before for almost 6 years, yeah.
And were you always drawing back then too? And
A little bit,
Yeah.
but it was intimidating, having so many people around doing that thing, and plus at the time I was dating a tattooer and I was doing piercing. It wasn't my thing actually being like competitive in that, that's his thing. My thing was another one.
right.
And then it came up a little bit when we actually started this shop in Varese and everything, and we're like, well, why don't you start tattooing? And I was like,
Yeah, why not?
So, no, actually, the first time that I tried it was on my ex on the couch of the living room. And it was like, what, you should try. And I took the machine, like, meow, meow, lines, and like try little things. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's cool. and then nothing. And then I did the first 2 tattoos, one on him, one on another friend. And it wasn't that bad. And I was like, I'm kind of surprised. And I was very lucky because I had a lot of friends actually they wanted to get tattoos. Of course, it was free. And I didn't have to try on myself. I just went on people right away.
Yeah, I have a lot of dumb supported friends in the beginning.
They still love it. Do you believe that last time that I was in London, a friend of mine came over when one of my first tattoo. I was like, oh my God. When you start covering yours, I was like, I need to do something. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And he's so proud. It was like a rose with a hand, whatever. And he was so proud. He was like, look, I still have it. And I was like, oh my God, let's cover that. And I was like, nope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same thing with a friend of mine too. It's every time I see these tattoos, I want to redo them, fix them, and he's just like, no. For him, it was a badge of honor. Like it was one of the first tattoos, and so he's like, no, you'll mess it up if you fix it. So. I mean, it's less work for me, so I appreciate that.
Sure, yes. But at the same time, he's like, I hope nobody sees that.
Or if they see it, don't tell them that I did it.
Right?
I'm glad I'm going to be hanging out with you in London again.
I'm going to call you guys directly this time.
Uh-huh.
Like, hey, where are you
Hey,
today?
where are you? I'm hungry. Get me food. I'm looking forward to hanging out in London again, and you'll be back in New York soon. And just wondering if you had any future plans, like any projects you're working on.
Well, projects, not really. Now I want to actually go back working. It's been a month and a half that I'm out of town, so I need to go back and try to get back to work and clients. Have a little routine. I'm coming back in Europe in January. That's what I'm trying to do, is actually travel a little more, as now I don't have the problem of documents and everything. Like I'm free to move back and forth whenever I want. I do want to travel more to Europe. Yeah, I'm not having really clear my idea, but instead of coming once a year or twice, maybe more a regular thing. Maybe every 2-3 months, coming here for 2-3 weeks, something like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
so
have
good
to organize a little bit better in my head, I guess.
Yeah, that's typically what I like to do as well. Every 3 or 4 months, go back to the States, work on some friends and old clients, see family.
Yeah, because you don't want to even lose your client,
No.
and sometimes it's hard. If you don't see you around, they're going somewhere else.
Yeah, you don't exist after a while.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was like a big fear of mine, moving away. It's like you spend half of your life building up a clientele and then you leave them.
The good part is, like, if you keep traveling like that, you're always busy. I feel like you always have work.
Yeah.
Instead of being like in a place, because then you get into the wave of like being busy and being less busy.
Sure.
Cancellations.
But I mean, I don't want to speak for Henning, but I think you should come back here on one of your trips, and you're more than welcome to stay.
Not when it's winter, because I'm sure it's gonna be super cold.
No, it's fine. You'll be indoors all the time, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. Just bring vitamin D and like a happy lamp.
What's a happy lamp?
It's like it's a lamp that you just shine on yourself, and supposedly it makes you happy.
It makes you tan too.
No, it doesn't have. It filters out the UV. I've never used it, so I can't endorse it. But this is the research I've
I heard about it,
Mhm.
but I never seen one.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that was called Happy Plant.
Happy lamp.
Happy Lamp. That's weed.
Happy. Well, we have Christiania. There's plenty of that here too. So
Happy plants.
happy plants. No, fuck sunlight. You have happy plants. That's wonderful. Let's end it there.
With a happy plant.
Happy plants.
Happy plant for everybody.
Tell me where we can find you on your Instagram and
My name and my last name, Lara Scotton. Or Scotton. Or Scotton. I don't know. Everybody says it in a different way. But my name, my last name, Lara Scotton. I feel like I met just another person in the world with the same name.
Really? Just one person?
Yeah. She lives in Veneto and she wrote me.
She wrote you?
Yeah, she's an insurance girl, whatever. She has an insurance business.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, I kind of want to get that too. And then she was like, you stole all the account of Google. Now I can't have my name and my last name anymore. That's the only person with my name and last name in the entire world.
Wow.
And it was cute. She actually emailed me.
I remember I was trying to get brianmac.com and then it was some sort of online bookie. And yeah, it was like, I don't know if I haven't checked it, but I remember looking on the site and being like, oh, there's online bookie and then there's porn passwords that you can download or something like that. Yeah, it was all this crazy stuff.
Sneaky.
Yeah. I'm too fucking tired. That makes sense.
Some happy plans?
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And also Daredevil Tattoo.
Daredevil Tattoo, New York City.
Boom.
Boom. Ciao.
Ciao. Grazie mille.
Grazie. Meno male che non ho bevuto la birra, che caldo.